Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Ashley. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all how I do my natural everyday makeup routine. So if you're interested in seeing that, then definitely keep on watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It would help my channel out so much. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave. It would mean so much to me. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
My friends don't care about everything as long as you got a story to bring.
Okay, so the first thing I like to do when I do my makeup, whether it's everyday or like a glam look, I definitely want to go in with a primer water because I have very dry skin. And the one that I've been using a lot, if you've been watching my videos, you probably know, but I just love it so much. It is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Coconut 3-in-1 Primer Water. This stuff is so good. It doesn't leave your skin too dewy or too matte. It just gives you a nice boost of hydration and just preps your skin so beautifully for makeup. So I'm just going to drench my skin in this, and then we will move on to another primer. Whew. It does have a fragrance, so if you don't like fragrance, it's just something to keep in mind, but I actually really enjoy this one. It smells like coconut, so it's perfect for the summer. Okay, so again, I have very dry skin, so I actually really need to take the extra steps in prepping my skin. So I'm going to go in with a serum primer after that primer water. And the serum primer I'm going to be using is the Glowy Makeup Serum by LANEIGE. The packaging on this is so cute and beautiful. I love the frosted baby pink, and it comes with a little dropper like so. This texture is really interesting. It's a little bit thick and kind of sticky when you blend it onto your skin. It also, I don't think you can really tell, but it kind of has like little droplets of pink diamonds in it, it looks like. So it's really pretty and just aesthetically pleasing to like rub into your skin. But aside from that, it feels really nice and moisturizing as well. I don't know if it's completely worth the money. It's pretty expensive, but I have it, so I'm definitely getting good use out of it, and it does leave your skin nice and hydrated, and it gives you a nice subtle glowy base as well. Okay, so you can see that that left my skin beautiful and plump and dewy. And just to amp up the dewiness even more, I'm actually going to go in with another primer. If you have normal to oily skin, you definitely don't have to do this, but for all my dry skin gals, if you find that foundations or tinted moisturizers or just anything that you put on your skin tends to look a little bit dry and crepey like mine does, then prepping your skin is super essential. The primer that I've been loving is from MILANI. It is their Supercharged Dewy Skin Primer. It looks like this. This is what it looks like. Comes in a fun, bright, vibrant orange. It smells like oranges, so it's super refreshing. Ooh! I'll get that later, but it kind of looks like a lotion when you first put it onto your hands, but it's not super thick. And it just adds the most beautiful glow to your skin, but it also is super hydrating. I think it has a little bit of jojoba oil in it. So you know how like some glowy primers can just sort of be like a liquid highlighter and they make your skin look glowy, but they don't actually make it feel moisturized? This one makes your skin feel moisturized, and it makes your skin super glowy and beautiful. That's why I love it so much, because as a dry skin gal, I like the illuminating primers, but sometimes I feel like then my skin just looks illuminated but not healthy or not moisturized. So I like that this offers both. Okay, so we're super glowy, as you can see, nice and moisturized, nice and plump and healthy. So on an everyday basis, I want something that's super quick and easy that I can just apply with my hands, because I don't want to like fuss too much about my makeup. And also, since it's summertime, I don't want to use something that's like really thick, because I feel like when it wears off, if I'm sweating or whatever, it can be a little bit more noticeable. So I want something that is going to be very lightweight, light to medium coverage and just look very natural on the skin. So I've been really loving the Tarte Hydroflex Serum Foundation, and I've also been really loving this bareMinerals Complexion Rescue. This stuff is just amazing. It has a very interesting like gel-like consistency. Here's what it looks like. I'm going to add a tiny bit of the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Bronzing Essence to this, just because I do have a slight tan right now. Oops, not in focus. There we go. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this just to deepen it up a smidge, because I do have a little bit of a tan. It should be good. So you can see on the back of my hand it is very reflective. It's a very dewy product, but it's never greasy, and it doesn't like emphasize pores or texture on your skin, which a lot of dewy products can do. It's super easy to blend in with your fingers. You can blend it in with a sponge as well. But yeah, if you're on the go and you don't have a lot of time, then fingers are definitely the way to go. It has more of a gel-like consistency. It's very watery, very thin, and at first when you blend it in, it kind of looks like it's going to sit on the top of your skin, but as you work it into your skin, it just like melts into your skin and looks like your skin. How many times did I say skin in the last like 2 seconds? But you know what I mean. It's undetectable. It doesn't look like you have any product on. It's amazing, but it evens out redness, gives you a little tiny bit of coverage, but it's nothing crazy, so it looks like you're not wearing anything, which I really love on an everyday basis. Look at how beautiful and healthy and dewy my skin looks. I love it. This stuff is so amazing. It's pretty clean. It's bareMinerals, so there's not a lot of like crazy ingredients. It's not going to break you out, and yeah, it's just, and it has SPF too. Like, it also has SPF, so it's like a win-win. It's a moisturizer, has SPF, it gives you a little bit of coverage. It's so easy to apply. It's so good. I love it so much. Okay, another product that I have been absolutely loving, I can't get enough of, is the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape. This stuff is like the Shape Tape, but better, because it's not as drying. It gives you amazing coverage, but it's so hydrating under your eyes, but not as dewy as like the Tarte Creaseless Concealer, if you've ever tried that. That one is like sticky hydrating, to where it looks like it's so hydrating that it's very dewy, and it like reflects the light back to where your under eyes are. If you have any puffiness, it's going to be really emphasized, and this one does not do that at all, so I really appreciate that. I'm just going to mix in a little bit of the NYX Born to Glow concealer. I have this one in the shade True Beige. It's a little bit deeper, and since the Tarte Shape Tape I have in the shade Light Sand, but it's a little bit light for me right now, so I'm just going to take a little bit of the NYX and just lightly dab it on, because I don't want a super bright under eye. I'm going to take my beauty blender and just press that into the skin. I like to go over my nose as well, because my nose has a lot of redness, and for some reason no foundation, whatever it is, tinted moisturizer, anything, it never wants to stick to my nose. So I usually just like to go over it with concealer, just to tone down that redness that I have. And I'm just using bouncing motions to press this into my skin. I sometimes will blend this concealer in with my fingers as well. It just depends on what I'm feeling like. You'll see that I usually don't use brushes, because I find that they can sometimes, on my skin, it can make the product look a little bit heavy, because it can kind of flip up the flaky patches I might have. Alright, so I'm just going to correct a little bit of the hyperpigmentation I have around my mouth from some acne scars. I'm fine with that stuff kind of peeking through. I just don't like to have any like dark spots around my mouth. I feel like it looks kind of like dirty or something, I don't know. But So I'm gonna mix in a little bit of the NYX again, just because I don't want to highlight these spots. I want to conceal them. And just lightly press that in. So I'm loving the way the base is looking. I just feel like myself, but a little bit more perfected, which is what I want on an everyday basis. I don't want to, I mean, sometimes I like to get full glam, you know, just for fun, but realistically, I want to just look like myself, feel like myself. I don't want to feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup, and this is just my vibe. This is my jam. This is what I love. Okay. Okay, so if you know me, you know that I usually do not use powder because I have very dry skin, but I have actually found a powder that I have been really enjoying, and it is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder. This had so much hype on YouTube a while ago, but I haven't really heard anybody talking about it since then. But yeah, I just really love it because it doesn't look very dry on my dry skin, but it also helps to like smooth out my skin and blur it, and it also, since it's tinted, it adds a little bit of coverage. It doesn't take it away. I really like to apply this foundation. I really like to apply this powder with my sponge, and I just kind of like put a little bit in the cap and then tap my sponge into it, and then I will literally just press it under my eyes. I like to use powder, especially in the summertime, because I do get a little bit more, you know, sweaty like all of us do. So I really want to make sure that even though I want my skin to look fresh, I don't want it to like completely slide off. So I just like to take a little bit, especially under my eyes and on my T-zone, because that's where I really don't want the coverage to wear off the most. So it does mattify, but I'm okay with that under my eyes and on my forehead especially, because I feel like sometimes when my forehead's too dewy, it can be a little bit distracting, and I feel like when my under eyes are a little bit too dewy, they look nice sometimes. It just depends on what I'm going for, but sometimes I feel like it can, like I said, kind of reflect the light back to where it looks like my under eyes are puffier than they are, or it just like emphasizes the puffiness, you know? So I feel like sometimes a matte under eye just makes it look a little bit more smooth, less puffy, you know what I mean? So yeah, been loving that. I'm looking a little bit crazy, so I'm gonna do brows next. I alternate between a couple of different brow products. I love the Benefit brow one. I like the MILANI Skinny Tip in the shade Espresso. I've been really enjoying actually the MILANI Weekend Brow Pen, but for today I'm just gonna use the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim. I have mine in the shade Medium Brown. So I'm just going to quickly fill these in. And I've been kind of liking doing a more like, I guess, fox eye kind of eyebrow, to where it's not as rounded. It kind of just like goes up. You'll see. You'll see. I've also been really liking kind of outlining my brows first, just to get the shape down to make sure they match, and then I'll go in and kind of fill them in. So instead of going down with this tail, I'm gonna go like out more. I just zoomed you guys in a little bit so you can really see what I'm doing. And I like to bring this inner part a little bit lower, like closer to my eye than the rest of my brow, so it kind of goes up subtly. Okay, so brows are on. I really like this style of brow. I feel like since my eyes are a little bit more downturn, having them sort of more straight helps to lift my face up a little bit. Whereas when I do more of a like rounded brow, I feel like it just kind of accentuates the downward angle of my eye. I don't know, it could be all in my head, but I've just been really liking this style. Let me know in the comments down below what you prefer. How do you guys do your brows? Do you like them more straight or do you like it more rounded and arched? I would love to hear it. So I think we should move on to the rest of the base. Let's go ahead and do bronzer. Okay, so my current favorite bronzer is from e.l.f. It is their primer infused bronzer. This is in the lightest shade, Forever Sunkissed. It is just the most beautiful neutral bronzer. It's not too orange, it's not too cool. It never looks muddy on the skin and it feels so creamy. Like, it's so silky, soft, and smooth. And it just blends like a dream. Super pigmented, so you can build it up, but it never is like too much. It almost reminds me of the butter bronzer, except it doesn't have a scent like that, and it's not as warm. It's more neutral, and I also feel like it's easier to go overboard with the butter bronzer if you have very fair skin like me. This one is just perfect. It has the right amount of pigment. It doesn't take forever to build up, but it also isn't going to be like overboard. So I just like to take it on a fluffy brush and really focus most of the pigment back here. And just do like small little circular buffing motions. I really want a lot of the pigment like back here in my little sideburns by my ear. You see that color? It's just perfect. It looks so natural. It's not too red, not too orange, not too yellow. Just perfect. And then I just take a little bit around the hairline, pretty much like in my hair. Down the neck. I like to put a little bit on my chin and under the nose. Also just will like lightly fluff it on the sides of the nose, just so it's not like so flat. And then again on the other side. I don't want to bring it in too far. I really want to focus it mostly by my ear and like kind of where my eyebrow stops. Because I want most of the pigment back here, I'm kind of pressing it into my skin more. And then as I move closer into the center of my face, I'm diffusing it out. So beautiful. For highlight, I'm going to go in with the Revlon Skin Lights highlighter in the shade 201 Daybreak Glimmer. It's just this beautiful champagne-y highlight. It can be very intense. It can be very intense if you build it up. I personally like more of an intense highlight, but if you want something a little bit more natural, the Essence Pure Nude highlighter is amazing. Or you can always just go in with like a glowy blush. I personally like a little bit of a dramatic highlight, especially in the summer. This one just looks so beautiful. It looks like wet. Add a little bit to tip of my nose. Cupid's bow under the brow. Okay, so for blush, I've really been loving going with a more glowy blush, but not really a cream blush, usually in the summertime, because I feel like sometimes they can fade really quickly and kind of melt off of my face. So I've been really loving using a powder blush that has a little bit of a sheen to it, a little bit of a shimmer. I really love the ALMAY Healthy Hue blush. I personally have mine in the shade So Peachy. It's just this beautiful corally pinky peach color, and this is just stunning. It's so pretty and vibrant. This shade is just stunning. It's so vibrant, but it has this amazing sheen to it where it makes your skin look so healthy and fresh and just not like a matte blush that can make you look a little bit powdery, this one never looks like that. It just melts into your skin. It is the most beautiful pop of color for spring and summer, and it has the most gorgeous finish, like silk but not glittery. It's so pretty. But today, since I'm wearing more of like a terracotta colored shirt, I want to go in with something a little bit warmer. Same sort of thing. It's a powder blush with a little bit of shimmer, and that is the COSMETICS Heaven's Hue blush. This is in the shade Magic Hour. Just more of a pink, but it has a little bit more warmth to it, kind of like an orangey pink. But you can see it has that little bit of a reflect, almost a golden, it's like a golden reflect. It's really pretty. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to go in with the COSMETICS blush, and I'm just taking it on a stippling brush, tapping off the excess, and then I'm going to apply it to the apples of my cheeks, blending it upwards, pressing, and then also blending. A little bit on the tip of the nose. So you see, I like to first place the pigment right here on the apples of my cheeks, but then I really just go over the highlight and the bronzer to kind of like melt all of that delicious cheek product together, so it looks a little bit more seamless and not so like disjointed. Take a little bit along the forehead as well, and if you feel like you do have any harsh lines, you can just take your beauty blender and sort of pounce over the edges to help diffuse that even more. So for the eyes, I'm going to keep it really, really simple, and I'm just going to take the bronzer and the blush and pop that into the crease. It's what I've been doing on an everyday basis. So I'm just going to go in with the bronzer. Still like to focus most of the pigment out here on this outer corner. And then I take it down at an angle just to connect to my lash line. Mostly tapping to prevent any fallout. Okay, and then with a fluffy brush, I'm just going to go in with the blush and just kind of pop that right over top of where I applied the bronzer. I'm going to pinch the brush and just take the bronzer along the lower lash line. Okay, so the next step is totally optional, but personally, I really like to have a little bit of definition and depth along the lashes. I don't want to go too high up because I don't have a lot of lid space, but I do want to go like in between my lashes, like tight lining as much as I can. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'll smudge it out, and I'm going to do a little bit along the lower lash line as well, like the outer third of my eye, and then I will curl my lashes and apply some mascara. The mascara I'm going to be using is the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions mascara. This is the black shade. I love, love, love this. It is expensive, and I never thought that I would spend $30 on a mascara, but you guys, this, it volumizes, it lengthens, and the best part is it's so easy to take off, and it's like waterproof, but it's a tubing formula, so it just comes off in like little tiny like tubes with warm water. It's the craziest thing, but I love it so much because it makes my life so much easier. So yeah, I'm gonna do the mascara, the liner, all that jazz, and we will be right back to do the lips. I just added a little bit of a matte cream ivory colored, bone colored shadow to my lid just because I felt like it was looking a little bit too smoky for my liking for an everyday basis. And yeah, that's just simple eye look, bronzer in the crease. I love a little bit of eyeliner, but definitely do whatever you feel like suits your eye shape best. And let's go ahead and do the lips. Okay, so on an everyday basis, sometimes I'll just go in with like a tinted lip balm. I really like the one from e.l.f. I think it's like Ride or Die lip balm. I love the shade, I don't know, the nude one. That one, I think it's Cookies? I'm not sure. But I love that one. It's just really hydrating, but also gives me a little bit of color, so I'm not so washed out. But for like more of a, if I want to look a little bit more put together but still natural, I do love going in with a lip liner just to give my lips a little bit more shape and definition, especially since my lips are so small. I feel like a lip liner is a necessity for me personally. I'm going to go in with the Persona lip liner in the shade Almond. This is just a beautiful nude color. They're super creamy, easy to smudge out, but also can really help define the lips. These aren't the most long-lasting lip liners ever, but they are really nice and comfortable. So you can see it's just a very Your Lips But Better color for my personal skin tone. It's not too dark, but it is enough to add structure to the lips again and just, but not look like too much. This lip liner is so comfortable. I love to fill in my lips too because it's like super creamy. Also, a really great thing about these lip liners is that you can go over the same spot multiple times and it's not going to get like super clumpy or weird like some lip liners can do. Over top of that lip liner, I'm going to go in with the MILANI, what is this called? AMOR Satin Matte Lip Cream. This one is in the shade 01 Lavish. This is super comfortable, but it's also pretty long wearing, but not like very drying like a normal liquid lipstick. It's more comfortable than that, but it wears longer than a normal lipstick. It's like the perfect in between. This color is also so pretty. Just a really basic, almost more neutral, cool tone leaning nude, but it doesn't dry out your lips, and again, it lasts a really long time. So I'm just going to pop that in the center. Just to add a little bit of dimension. Okay, we're almost done. So to set the brows, I'm going to go in with my Benefit 24-hour brow setter. You guys, I would never thought that I'd be the kind of person that would spend a lot of money on a brow gel just because there's so many good ones at the drugstore. Like, I really love the Essence Make Me Brow, but there's something about this brow gel. It's not too goopy, not too thick or crunchy feeling. It doesn't, like, you know how some brow gels can kind of remove the pigment from your pencil or whatever product you're using and kind of like defeat the purpose? This one does not do that. It doesn't remove any of the pigment, but it just sets your brows into place, and it doesn't ever feel like heavy. I also really surprisingly love the applicator on this. It's so different. It's like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's flat and then skinny. So it's like a paddle shape kind of, which is weird. I've never personally had a brow gel with a wand that shape, but I actually really love it because, I don't know, the skinny side just makes it really easy to get like the tip of your brow. And yeah, I don't know, it just, there's something about it. It just makes it really easy to like comb through the brow hairs. All right, let's go ahead and assess the situation. I think I can use a little bit more blush, so I'm just gonna go back in with that COSMETICS blush. Pop a little bit more on the cheeks. And to set the face, I'm gonna go with my e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. I love this because it has a really fine mist, but it really does, I feel like, help to make your makeup last longer, which for me is very important, especially in the hotter months. So I'm going to seal it all in. Ooh, it doesn't even feel like you're spraying anything onto your face. The mist is so fine. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go in with the clean side of my sponge and just make sure everything is nice and set down. Alright guys, so that completes this look. This is my natural everyday makeup routine. I love the way it turned out. Let me know in the comments down below what makeup products you have been loving for your everyday makeup, and if I haven't checked them out, I definitely will do so. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.
¿Quién no diría que se podría hacer amor por telepatía? La luna se llena, mi cama vacía.